Okay, so I have been messing about a bit with. Oh, I've given the game away. Messing about a bit with Gaussian splats, and the problem with Gaussian splats is a lot of the programs they use this thing called Colmap, which is basically a file that contains the camera positions and the camera lens information and various bits and pieces. But the thing is, what it doesn't like is the whole lens distortion thing. And the thing is, Metashape doesn't seem to mind. But if a lot of the Gaussian splat programs mind about it, then you have to remove it. And you can remove it in Metashape, but I was kind of trying to find a way of removing the GoPro distortion. Let's go to the Fusion page. So the GoPro distortion on the church here, because I thought it'd be good. I did try doing Gaussian splat, but it was horrible. Loads of floaters, not very good. So I thought, well, let's see if we can remove the lens distortion, and then went down this whole rabbit hole and came up with this. There's a plugin called Gyroflow that's aimed at. I've got it here. Actually, I'll put the page up. Which is aimed for drones and stabilizing footage from drones. But I just wanted the lens distortion thing because it has a massive library of all the different sorts of lens distortion for GoPro and action camera. Just a huge, much bigger than I couldn't find. I've got GoPro Hero 7 Black, so I couldn't find the lens distortion profile for that for the 4.3 photo mode, but I managed to find it with Gyroflow. So it's in Gyroflow, so you need to install it, and it's this whole business of okay, so here it is, the Open Effects OFX. So which can, it's basically a plugin that can work with many different programs that support the OpenFX plugin stuff. So you need to download the file and install it and uninstall the zip here, this location. So once you've done that, you can start Resolve, and it will appear in your filters here. The Gyroflow, here's other ones you see, right? Topaz and whatnot. So once you have the Gyroflow, drag it onto your clip, right? And then this panel will appear, and it'll probably complain it doesn't work, right? And I thought, well, let's just open it up, because I was only interested, as you can see, I've given the game away with these ST maps. You can generate these ST maps, and then in Fusion, you can take the distortion out. So open Gyroflow. Obviously, you need to install it first. Download the zip, uninstall the zip in the location that I said. And if Gyroflow will open for me, will it open? Yeah, I went through a number of different. I looked at their profiles. They have on their GitHub. Let me get back to here. GitHub, where is it? Source. On their in the GitHub, they have a whole profiles page. Is it profiles? I've got an own separate thing. Lens profiles, right? So in here, you've got huge. It mainly aimed at the action cameras, but absolute massive library. So obviously went into GoPro. Where is it? GoPro. Searched for Hero 7 Black, 4.3, that's 4,000 by 3,000 pixels. Found the profile, downloaded it. There's actually several different ones. Opened the profile. So I went to my downloads thing, opened the appropriate profile. So this one's worked pretty well. Opened it. So let's do that. The 25, this was the best. And you can see this is what it's doing. It's pretty crazy, but this was the best. All the other ones weren't quite as good. They all still had a bit of distortion. Well, that was not so bad. This one, oh, that's the same one. Open. Some of the 30, yeah, you see they're not quite as good. I can tell because this line here needs to be absolutely straight. This isn't terrible, but we're losing some of the chair, as well as the 25 frames per second one. 4.3, we get the chair, you see. So the problem is great, so we've got this, but how do we, I don't want to render out a clip, I just want to use what they call an ST map, which is the kind of fancy way of doing distortion. So I went advanced, export ST map, find a folder, and it'll export 2 EXR files, right? And those are the weird colored spectrum things, so I'll just exit out of this. So those are those weird 2 files. We have a undistort and a redistort sort of thing node. So if we go to our effects, Fusion tab, so I've got a JPEG loaded in the one, and it's actually applied here. You can see if I went back here to this one, this is it before, and then you add this texture node. It's not called ST distortion or undistort or distort, it's called texture. So God knows why that's the case. and then I dragged in the distort one. Is that the right? Yeah, undistort one as opposed to the distort one, because you want to be able to go backwards and forwards, be able to distort it back. So that's what this looks like. Great. You can see it's actually quite large. So I need to think about having to reframe that so we just get what I want, not all this stuff at the back. And then hopefully, because this has no lens distortion, and more equivalent to what they call like a pinhole camera, and that there's no lens distortion in it at all. Or there's it was the best one I could find. It's super wide. And then so run that, render out all the JPEGs. I lose the metadata with the crop, and then run that through the Gaussian splat programs and see if I can get a better, less floaters, more accurate Gaussian splat model. I'm curious to try the photogrammetry as well, see if I get a better. But as I say, Metashape can handle. You can choose in the profile in Metashape, fisheye or whatever. So, but also something else worth noting is these are cameras on tripods, so that I don't need to worry about anything about rolling shutter, right? I think I'll stop there. But that's how you do it. This is the sort of, I would say it's a pretty professional way of doing the undistortion rather than using sliders. Or you can, it gives you all the values and stuff in the Gyroflow. So you potentially could copy that over to Blender. These ones here, look, if we open Gyroflow. But I thought it's pretty, because for ages I've been looking, and you can get lens profiles, but there's GoPro 5 or something in Affinity Photo, but that's not exactly right. It still has lens distortion in it. But if you go to actually, as I say, if we open up one of the here, you can get under the advanced. It gives you. I'm not quite sure where you put these top two values, but the center certainly, and these two, I guess, the 2K numbers, you could probably put that into the Blender's lens distortion, as I've done in previous video. I'll link to that, where you and then do this and just use the numbers that are generated, and hopefully that should give you a similar result. But I'm pretty pleased to sort of figure this one out. I get the music stuff wasn't terribly popular. I think I lost subscribers for that. So I'll think about starting a separate music effects, music or audio or something, just to separate that out. But yeah, that's it. I think I'll stop the video.